I suppose we have a tendency to wear masks because we want to be liked and we want to be accepted. And so there's, I guess, some kind of an unconscious fear that if I'm just my plain old self or my unrefined self or whatever the case may be, people may not like me, or they may not accept me, or they may not select me.
Welcome to the InSpirit podcast from Amoris Christi. Join us as we explore current events and all manner of fascinating topics and explore their connections to Christian living.
Hello, everyone. Today we'll be talking about being your authentic self. We're very delighted to have with us today Dr. Edezhath. He's one of the founding members of Jesus Youth, an international Catholic movement of pontifical right, and he's also a professor of English literature and many, many other things. So thank you, Dr. Edward, for being with us here today.
Thank you, Father.
Yes. So to start off with, I wanted to ask you about just the importance of being one's authentic self. Could you say anything about that?
Quickly, what comes to my mind is, of course, we are ourselves. But then coming to an awareness of it, conviction or surety about it, and then trying to live that authentic, unique self, that becomes very important.
How? How do we come to discover that authentic self?
One thing, I remember my first journey or my conscious journey about myself, or challenging people to become aware of their authentic self. This started perhaps in our ministry like this. Because, spirituality, many people come to, either they live a spirituality in a lukewarm manner, or even after coming to a real active spiritual life, sometimes they get into a rut. So they have a love of God experience and they become alive, but then it has to be reinvented in their own unique way, in their own unique personality. Otherwise, after that, these spiritual things become a cliche sometimes. So this was something that I slowly realized, and I thought challenging people to be their unique selves is very important, I realized. Otherwise, without knowing, we begin to wear some masks. And then after some time, people feel so bad about it. What is this? She is not real self. He is not real self. And then even the person himself or herself would get into a lot of difficulties at a later stage. So the solution to many of these problems, this I'm talking of spirituality, or in my university classrooms, sometimes, though I teach English, I sometimes give tips to youngsters. Realize that you are an unrepeatable someone very, very special. And then I understand that especially young people, they suddenly become aware of this and they become, so very freed and challenged by these discovery. So for myself, now I've been, after even this radical awareness, I've been journeying for many decades, but still I'm discovering myself. In newer ways, I'm realizing that, I have to become myself more.
Sure. Something that you said about the masks. I suppose we have a tendency to wear masks because we want to be liked and we want to be accepted. And so there's, I guess, some kind of an unconscious fear that if I'm just my plain old self or my unrefined self or whatever the case may be, people may not like me, or they may not accept me, or they may not select me. There's all kinds of selection processes in life. People select different friends or spouse or team members or whatever.
Sure.
So you think, I need to be a certain way, which will make them like me. But you presented the flip side of that, which is after a while, people actually look at a person who's wearing a mask and think that person is fake. And so they actually begin to keep a distance from it. So I guess what I'd ask is, what do we do about that? I mean, the desire or the need to be liked, to be accepted by others, can drive us to a kind of conformity.
Yeah.
You know, and how can we overcome that?
Ideally, as we know, the solution is love, acceptance. If I am accepted by all around me, just as I am, I will be so confident to be myself. But unfortunately, we are in a sinful world in the sense of I'm not accepted. Even whoever came across me, he or she had self-esteem problems. So they tried to bring out of me their own expectations. So I try to satisfy them slowly. I interiorize it and I start wearing masks. So what is the solution, perhaps? I think solution is, first, I should get a hope. Yes, there is a journey possible. Sometimes we are never challenged, sensitized, made aware that something like that is possible. So someone, at least in our grown-up self, someone will have to say that, yes, this is possible actually. Actually, there is a hope. Then someone must challenge me, or I should be challenging myself after reading a book or listening to somebody or meeting somebody. I must challenge myself to say that, no, I needn't wear masks. And I wear masks. I can be myself. And as I am beautiful. As I am valuable. In no other way I am beautiful. So my unique beauty is being myself. Someone else's voice will not suit me. Someone else's way of walking will not suit me. What suits me is my own either rubbish way, my own useless way, and I'm okay. But is it possible to come to it quickly? No. Sometimes I have to try. I need a supporting system. I need understanding people sometimes in my journey to journey with me, to perhaps when I fall to support me. I may require that. Then, so awareness, my attempt of accepting it. Then from there, this acceptance, a greater discovery, search to really find the beautiful me and bring it out, and finally to celebrate it. If I have people around me to celebrate with me, there are people, it'll be beautiful. Or if I believe in God, God celebrates with me. So I have to, from this hope, I have to then come to this awareness, acceptance, discovery, and celebration. I think then our life becomes very joyful. But being myself and then being joyful, I suppose.
Yeah, and what you said about love being at the center of this is important, because I guess it can't be something done completely in isolation. The idea of discovering self, even though self is me, it's foundationally something discovered relationally with love of God, discovering God's love for me, and also ideally of a supportive community that, like what you said, where they wouldn't have serious self-esteem issues or expectations of conformity, but would actually encourage the members, encourage each other to flourish as in their unique selves. I mean, at least that would be ideal. But as you pointed out, we are in a fallen world. And so we would probably end up somewhere in the middle, in terms of all of those things. Yeah. So now, in terms of living in community and living with other human beings, I suppose there are some benefits to certain kinds of conformity, or what we might call socialization, like when you're a child and you learn different things, wipe the food off your face, or don't push other people, or hold the door for someone. And I guess I would say that there's some positive benefits to socialization. There's also a certain way that we communicate things through our actions symbolically, like through our gestures, and we want to make sure that we're communicating the right things. that we're signaling to people that I'm a friendly person. Like when you smile at somebody, I'm a friendly person, I'm not a scary person or a psychopath or whatever. So how do we balance that? I mean, we want to be our authentic selves. We want to be kind of free from conformity. At the same time, I feel like there's some positive benefits to learning to be adjusted to a particular social setting. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think finally we'll have to balance. Balancing what? Living as a social being, man is a social animal. So as Plato said. So living as a social being, at the same time, being my unique, authentic self. In a way, this is really contrasting, really at extreme ends. But then the middle means the truth is in the middle. The same way, in a way, I have to really accept myself and in a very deliberate, conscious way, rediscover these social norms or customs and make it my own. I think that's a mature way. Especially at one age at least, young people reject everything social. They find everything wrong. My parents asked me to do this, to do that, to pray. Everything you find that I was forced and I rebel. But then beginning this journey of self-discovery, self-acceptance, and a journey of self-esteem, then when I have accepted myself, then perhaps I think I'll have to begin a journey of rediscovering all these things. Why I have to smile at people. Then I consciously smile at people. Then maybe in this reaction I stopped praying. God is forced upon me. But then in a new way I may have to rediscover my God. I may have to rediscover the way I eat. Sometimes they say that you have to go away from your country to like your country. In the same way, sometimes young people, they never liked the food at home. Mama's food was the worst food. But they go away and then they want to eat mama's food again. In the same way, you rediscover all these socially taught things in your conscious, responsible, deliberate way. Then it becomes beautiful, I think. Eventually, what I'm saying is that, of course, discovering my unique self and then rediscovering my culture, my social norms, which may initially appear to be antithetical, but then rediscovering it and integrating these things to me, then it becomes I become into an integrated person, consciously doing, even consciously fumbling, consciously falling down and laughing, not feeling terribly ashamed of it, little bit ashamed of it, but not terribly ashamed of it, or I am able to say that I am ashamed of it, to be able to say that. I think that becomes a maturity, I suppose.
I am so glad I asked you that question. I don't think I've heard a better answer than that. That's excellent. So thank you. Any final words of wisdom from you in terms of, how just this ongoing journey, as you mentioned, it's a continuous journey throughout our lives. Any final words of wisdom?
No, I only think that when do you reach perfection? I think when finally we are said that don't get away from it and put you in the grave. So this is an ongoing journey. But if we are consciously, not only this, we need successes. We need success experience throughout. We need, medals. We need, affirmation from others. We have to rediscover our talents, develop our talents. All these. So what I'm saying is, being my unique self is not a static experience that you can reach at one point by awareness. But this awareness is an ongoing journey where this awareness becomes this discovering my treasures, discovering more and more friends, getting more and more into community, love, service, giving myself. Eventually, why I discover myself? So that this beautiful me can serve the others, love the others more, and give myself more. So it becomes an ongoing journey. at least up to our grave. We don't know beyond that. But at least, but then when we have tasted the joy of reflection, the joy of discovery, the joy of acceptance and joy of giving, then our life becomes a greater celebration, I suppose.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope we're all encouraged to be our authentic selves so that we can be a true gift to others. Thank you again, Dr. Edward.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the InSpirit podcast. InSpirit is an initiative of Amoris Christi, an apostolate dedicated to lay spiritual formation. For more information and to keep up to date, you can visit our website at amorischristi.org and follow us on social media.